we do have a show. We do have a show for you this morning. And today's show is a very good one, I believe. We're talking about men's health awareness. November is also that month of men's health awareness. So we will be talking about that. I have an awesome lineup of guests that should be dropping in to see me here. If you're here, please request the box. I'm hoping that everybody is able to come in and join me like we should. Um, I know, I know, but we pressing through. We pressing through because some people just might need to be here. I don't know, you know. I'm just here. I'm Miss Divine. This is Divine Living, a personal growth and wellness show designed to help you and me, y'all. Me for real. Be well. So typically we talk about wellness through the 8 dimensions of wellness. And those 8 dimensions of wellness are emotional, physical, occupational, social, spiritual, intellectual, environmental, and financial. Today, we will probably touch a little of all of those because it's all about men's health awareness. It's men's health awareness. That's what we're touching on today. And we will see how this goes. Because some things just don't work like they ought to, like the guest box. I see it blinking. I see it blinking. Oh, here we go. There we go. We got a couple of people here. I want to bring in my co-host, Man of Steel. Let's see if it actually bring up this morning. I know sometimes when there's updates, they just don't go as planned.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I got you.
Yeah, it's gonna be rough this morning.
It is. But we're gonna press through this thing. I'm good. Good. Thank you. We're gonna see what happens.
Yeah.
James is here. I'm gonna see if it'll let him in. Ooh, cross your fingers, hold your breath, say a prayer.
All right, we in the building.
Hey,
Hey, what's up with the show?
we trying to see if we're gonna get in here and do this thing this morning. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Ricky's here.
What's up, everybody? Y'all feel
It's good with the game.
Morning.
What's going on?
Ah.
think we coco?
Oh, shoot. I'm about to knock my phone down. Spilling water. All right.
It's good with the
haven't,
berry.
haven't seen Uncle Joe this morning.
What's up, Coco
Spilling
Fairy?
water all over myself.
You behaving yourself?
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for hanging out with me, joining me for Divine Living. If you guys are just tapping back in, well, there was a fire and it or it wasn't a fire, but something happened and the the app decided that it just wanted to close out. But we're back. We're back. We're back we're back like we just started. Somebody said as a heart attack, but I don't want to believe in that one. Anyways, um, today we are talking about men's health awareness. And I'm happy that you guys are here to join me on this show this morning. Um, we're going to touch on a few things. Hopefully, Uncle Joe will be able to join us too if he's able to see us live this morning, but we're going to do this thing. We're going to do this thing. So let's go around and just tell everybody who we are, what we got going on, and then we'll just jump into this conversation.
Well, most of y'all know, man, is still do a show Monday mornings. CD Taste Wrong with Top Bass, Beautiful J. We do morning coffee. We've been focusing on men's health all month as well. Everything else you already know. I usually stream during the night or whatever. I just came back to tag maybe a week and a half ago. So I know all my heathens miss me and glad I'm back. But and the majority of them are women as heathens. But other than that, that's pretty much it. Y'all already know, man. Just have a good time in the stream, music, etc. So
Awesome. Y'all just speak when you want to speak. I don't have no order of things. I ain't gonna be pointing no finger. Say you go first, you go next. Let's just talk.
Nah, well, I'll go. I'm Ricky B1C. I'm starting something next month. Is gonna call it The Disconnect. It's gonna be the second Friday of each month, and basically it's a game to connect the generations together. New and old all together. Go ahead and test each other knowledge and also build that gap right there to bridge that. And also I want to start next month, also on the third Saturdays, start a little artist workshop for artists that's out there trying to learn a little bit of the game, that want to know about, how to get your publishing, your mastering. You want to learn how to start off by reading music, how to sign up for like ASCAP, BMI, just the little intricate things that a lot of people don't know about it. And I stream usually during the week. You can find me between 7 to 10, and then on the weekends from mornings to like evening shifts most of the part. And all we do is have good vibes. Call me the vibe dealer, and you know what I mean? Vibe the music. We go ahead and have a lot of fun around it.
right.
Awesome.
They heard that, heard beat. All right, so I'm Fang, feature show host on the app. My feature show later on today at 7 p.m. Eastern Time with Top Bass Rello. Make sure that y'all come and tap in to Two Lies, One Truth. And then right after that, I do the show called The G Code at 8 p.m. Eastern Time today. Today we're gonna be in Lord Just Me's live. It's gonna be with King of Diamonds and Rello. Then I got some content on Tuesday for I Dream of Brittany called Tuned In. My man's right here, Ricky B. He on our panel of judges. Make sure that y'all tap in 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Tuesdays. And I got some things in the works. I'm be making shows for people, and I'm gonna be giving myself a couple more of those shows too. So be on the lookout for the new year, y'all.
Super busy. Super busy. That's what I see. Everybody in here just super busy. And I appreciate it. I appreciate you coming out and hanging out with me, Miss Divine. This is Divine Living, y'all, a personal growth and wellness show designed to help you and me be well. So today we are focusing on mental health, men's health awareness. I always go into mental health, but it's not all about mental health. It's about our health in general. And this month is what they call Movember. Some people kind of use it, but it's just to bring men together in just talking about their health and their wellness and the importance of it. A lot of times, mm, I've seen in the men that I know in my life, and that it's not always a priority. It's not always a priority to put their health first. They are those superheroes. We always look at them as the superheroes in our lives and wanting them to conquer the day, solve all the problems and be that strong figure that we imagine them to be. And what I see in all of that is really the societal pressures of being men in just society today, the norms that we have created for us to live by, and not necessarily what's healthy or well for actually everyone. We create these thoughts, these processes, and then it becomes like extreme pressure, um especially when it comes to men and masculinity. um let's talk about some of the stereotypes that come about in that, and how the challenges of these stereotypes may affect you in your well-being, your emotional expressions, or even just engaging with others or your own self-care.
Well, none of them
I
really
feel,
affect me. None of them really affect me. I mean, I
yeah.
just go about my business and do what I want to do. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? But as it pertains in general, the problem is that nobody cares about our trauma and pain. Especially for black men, you have a mental breakdown, they make you a meme. Nobody really.
Mm,
Yeah.
Tyrese cried about saying his daughter. He was a meme for 4 years.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Michael Jordan had an emotional moment. He's been a meme since.
Mm,
Yeah.
So
No, for real.
nobody. You got kids these days that never seen Michael Jordan. He's known as the crybaby face.
Mhm.
mm,
You know what I mean? So nobody really look at us as having pain. It's really interesting because even back in slavery, they thought that black people didn't feel pain. Now we just look and say black men now, black men don't. So that's the problem for the most part. We're judged on what we can get done and what we can accomplish, not necessarily what we feel. That's why we never look at the doctor as an option. Black people, we think ginger ale
Mhm.
medicine. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
we never look because we always going to be judged no matter what. If you're sick, whatever else, you still got to accomplish things to get things done. So people don't typically look at us and say, well, I can understand because you don't feel well. Like right now, you've been hearing me coughing. It doesn't matter. Things still got to get done. You know what I mean? So nobody's going to have
Mhm.
sympathy for us. So we typically don't have sympathy for us. The most
Yeah.
love black men usually get is from his daughter or from other men because he understands what he's going
Yeah. I think that's fading too, though. I think that, you know what I'm saying. I think that's fading too. I feel like society is tough, and what it's becoming is more emotionless. Like, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like, I feel like your woman, like, you know what I'm saying? My ex-girlfriend used to, oh, why you always complaining? Why you always, I'm not supposed to have feelings. Like, I'm not supposed to be like, yo, I don't like this. I can't like this. If I don't like this, I'm emotional. I'm being emotional.
Yeah.
I feel like in our society too, which I mean it's a whole different topic. I feel like, yeah, ain't nothing wrong with having a strong woman, but there's a difference between like having strong women and having masculine women. I don't think
Yeah.
like you know what I mean? Like I
Facts.
feel like today, like we have more masculine women and you have men that I ain't gonna lie, there's some men that did do too much. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
they
Uh-huh.
do too much now. You know what I mean? But just because you expressing yourself is not accepted no more. Like, and I don't understand it for real.
Yeah,
mm,
facts. And then what y'all definitely was tapping on to, and when we go ahead and we try to share that, right? That emotional side, or we share opinion, how we're feeling, or we telling them something like that, and that's when with society that word come out, oh, you're being sassy. You know what I'm saying? Like because you're going ahead and you're tapping back and everything, and then right there, instantly, you're trying to attack my masculinity. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I feel like with that too, that's the pinpoint. You're like, all right, what the thing that I can do? I know I can harm because with women, the first thing they say, they call us broke or they talk about you know what. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
yeah.
that's one of the things that they try to go ahead and go at you to go ahead and try to build you down and make you feel like you're nothing. So that's what I'm saying. We really can't, and that's where you have to go ahead and have to be strong and be like, all right, forget what you're saying. Like I don't care about nothing else but myself and my emotional well being. And I feel like now we're as men and stuff, we really have to take care of each other and take care of ourselves at that too. Because I don't see nothing wrong with a man doing a self care Saturday or self care. You know what I mean? Whatever. Go get your massage. Go ahead and get a facial or something like that. Go ahead and
Mm-hmm.
express yourself. You know what I mean? You want to walk? Go ahead. Ain't nothing wrong with going and looking at the ocean. Like there's nothing has a gender rule to me. You know what I'm saying? Certain things, but like so far as what society will label or something like that. If I want to go see the sunset, I'm gonna go see the sunset. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah.
I will say this: the topic is about societal pressures from men, this, that, or whatever. As the show go on, maybe it'll happen later. I haven't been paying attention, but we would not be the focal point. If you, the
Yeah.
comments is going to be about what everybody else also go through.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
we still
So,
won't even be the focal point, even though that's the topic.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Because we always look to have compassion for everybody and still be strong. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? So it's so because when that happens and the attention goes off of what you're going through, indirectly says that it's not relevant. You know what I mean? It's no different than if ladies are talking about what they go through, and then guys come and say, "But men have to deal with this," and it's like, okay, you just completely just ignored and had any
Yeah.
compassion for what I was talking about as it pertains to what I go
I hear you. I hear you, Man of Steel. I really do. And for real, that's why I wanted this show and this topic today because it's frustrating to me for men to be overlooked in the things that they go through. I I don't have a son. I don't I am not a man. So having these conversations and openly having these conversations and gearing these conversations to the things that men go through is extremely important. I don't want to overlook in any type of way that um I don't want to overlook in any type of way that it is important. The conversations are important. Ricky touched on something briefly that talked about image. And like sometimes I know he was just hitting on it, but a lot of times we get that talk of, or you guys hear the talk of, oh, what does he look like? What is this? What does he appear to be? What does that how does that affect you? Does it affect you? And not just one on yourself, but does it put a comparison, you comparing yourself to one another at all?
No, I don't compare myself to other
yeah.
brothers. I only way I compare myself to other brothers is to have understanding and compassion for what he may be going through. Like I tell people all the time, regardless of who that brother is, I can have understanding and I can have patience because I know even though our journey won't be the exact same, I know it's going to be similar things that he's going to have to go through just because of the hue of his skin. So I
Mhm.
Yeah.
can have understanding and compassion if we bump into each other and not somebody had to lose their life. You know what I mean? Or if I see he's going through certain things, I can have compassion and understanding because I can look and say that only boys from when they're little is taught what they supposed to do even as a man. Like
Mhm.
even as a little boy, you can be 4 or 5 years old. You're taught to have chivalry, hold the door for everybody, X, Y, and Z. Let her have the last piece of candy. Even if she wasn't even looking for it, once she saw you grab it, she wanted it. You still got to have chivalry, and you're 5 years old. So we're taught even at a young age how you're supposed to conduct yourself, even when you become a man, and you didn't even start school yet. So I think it starts very young, and it's certain things that we have to go through when we become men. So we start boys early. Don't cry. You got to be strong. You got to be tough. Protect your sister. Protect your mother.
Mhm.
You could be in fourth grade.
Man.
Protect your mother. Protect your sisters. You know what I mean? So we're taught at a young age how strong we gotta be, and a lot of that means that you have to hold in your emotions and you can't show it because you got other lions in the world too. You got to fight the lions in the world. You don't want to have to fight
Mm-hmm.
the lions in the house also. You got to have some peace every now and again, and somebody that's going to support you and have sympathy for what you may be going through, especially if you voluntarily put all the weight on your shoulders to take a lot off of them. So most
Mm-hmm.
of the time as men, we just want to be appreciated for all our efforts. That's it. We might not ever become millionaires. We may not ever become any of that. But the
Mhm.
effort that you put in, you just want to be appreciated for. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Women don't even understand. The more you support a man, he'll work 4 jobs to make you proud and to make sure you good. He'll work 4 because he feel
Mm-hmm.
appreciated. One of his natural instincts, whatever you do and give is only valid, by the receiver. The receiver has to show that it's valid. If they don't, you
Mm-hmm.
would no longer want to be
Mm,
there.
Man, nah, that's real.
Yeah.
yeah.
Nah, that's real. You pretty much hit it on the head. The only thing that I would like to add is like he said, we was taught that from a young age. But nowadays, structure and all of that has been broken, like through the generations. Like, what I'm saying, these young ones that's coming up, they missing something. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, whereas you said, like, how do we feel? Well, us being on the panel probably might not be going through a ton of this, but the generation that's underneath us, like that's what it's about. Like these components are becoming lost, like you know what I'm saying, through
Mm-hmm.
the years, like so like where we older, so we done dealt with some of the things that we done dealt with, so we know how to. We know how to adjust and make the arrangements, and we know how to, handle those things. But the youth, like coming up, man, they losing a lot of major components. you
Yeah.
know.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
basically, man still said, when we as men, especially black men, we have to grow up early. Even if you got to go up there, you got to help your mom out with, what I mean, money or anything like that. Me, I got 5 sisters. I'm the only boy. You know what I'm saying? So early, I had to jump off that porch to go ahead and make sure first I had to become a protector. And then I'm from Baltimore. So the structure and the way how that environment was, one thing I had to go ahead and learn how to be financially stable at a young age, also. Not just for me, but for the household too. So
Hmm.
going on that, I had to just learn and find a way. And then I didn't have like that father figure there because my father was incarcerated. So I had to go to the streets and more so to go ahead and find that people that would go ahead and not only show me the way, but also give me the knowledge that I need to go ahead in life. So I was talking about this yesterday on my live, like starting off early, and I said, really at a young age, I never hung around people like my age. It was always the older people, that attain knowledge, and they the ones that actually made me go ahead and want to be better because even though they out there doing their thing, they say, hey, you're special. Like this is not, what I mean, you're special. Go ahead and do your thing. I see that. And that's all, like you said, is another thing about being appreciated and other people seeing what you're seeing. And only another male probably can see that with inside yourself because you say, hey, I've been through that. I see what you do. I see your potential. And then, you know what I mean? And like Fame said, that's what that youth is missing. They don't have that right now. Like I said, we used to see shadow boxing. You know what I mean? I don't see that no more. You know
Right,
what I mean?
right,
And I'm
right,
I was surprised when
right.
somebody told me they seen kids outside playing like the other day. I said, "What?"
Yeah, yeah,
So it's like the little simple things that we lost as I'm not just gonna say as a culture, but as just people in general. You know.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I think
Yeah.
masculinity is only described as toxic now.
Mm. I was
See,
just
yeah.
going to
it's
ask
something.
that. I
Yeah,
was just going to talk about that too, man. It's still like, do you see, like, in society, the like reputation, like respect and reputation versus toxic masculinity? Um, all the things that you guys have hit on, how you may have learned things as a youth, versus what society, the pressures of society are now saying, oh no, this is toxic masculinity is all that we know of or what we see, and how does that affect us in general, you know?
Hmm.
Yeah, to me, it's no such thing as toxic masculinity.
Yeah,
Masculinity
Hmm.
itself is not toxic, because
that-
masculinity stopped the guy from breaking into the house and protect the family. You know what I'm saying? Masculinity is a guy that no matter what, get things done and make sure everybody eat.
Hmm.
Masculinity is the guy paying the bills. Masculinity is the guy that's walking on the curb side of the street. Masculinity is caring about, kids and elders and women and protecting them while they out. Masculinity don't record you getting your head beat in. He stops it from happening. That's what
yeah,
masculinity
yeah,
is.
Hmm.
But
yeah.
what we're doing is we're making it toxic because anytime like brothers show emotion, it's like, the revolution is coming. We can't show emotion. It's like, oh, he about to go crazy. It's like, well, I can't express it nowhere else.
Mm.
So what do you want me to do? Because if you express it to your significant other or your wife or whatever else, if you get clown for it even one time, he'll never open up again. Because we know that being vulnerable could cost us. So if we trust you with us being vulnerable.
Hmm.
We all men in a box. If you out with some guys, the guy that showed the vulnerability, he's the one that gets slapped first.
Yeah,
He gets slapped first because yeah, we're not living out in the jungle or whatever else, like the lion, tigers, or whatever. But it's a different version of it when we out. You know what I'm saying? Like guys are looking for whatever. The bully keeps slapping you until they find somebody else to slap.
right. Facts.
So
Yep.
you can show vulnerability, and it's been too many times in general across the board that men have shown vulnerability, and he got teased for it, or called he was gay or he a punk for actually even showing emotion. And then we get a list of when you can show emotion and when you can't. So you don't even know when you could be genuinely emotional.
Right.
So
Facts.
everything for men has to go through a filter. How he act, what
Yeah,
he say, and everything else. So it's just really hard. Because there's a lot of supportive women out there, but it's a big enough number of women that's a certain way that makes it hard for you to actually be open.
right. I feel like the only case that I can really see masculinity being toxic or it's like with the youth. Like, you know what I'm saying? They show their emotions in a different way. Like, they in the streets, the majority of them in the streets, harming each other. So when they show their emotion, it's really in retaliation. Like, you know what I
Hmm.
mean? So like that's
Mm.
not a real masculine form of energy. Like I man, the youth is messing the game up for a lot of us. Like
Mm.
like
Yeah,
for
yeah.
real. And that gets overwhelming for us for the older people too, like you know what I'm saying? Because now as we men, real men want to protect and provide, not just our
Hmm.
families, but the youth too. So that affecting us too. Like,
I want to tap onto it because when I think about it, right, I think about the ones that overassert their masculinity. You know what I'm saying? Since recently, you know what I mean, we're talking about like how the P. Diddy's or you know what I mean, somebody like that would go ahead and use their structure and everything like that to go ahead and even guys at the gas station want to go ahead, you know what I mean, it put fear in women to go ahead because as soon as they come out there, hey, what's up? What you doing? Where you going? What you doing? Where you going? You know what I'm saying? It's like it's
right,
like one of those things that we're just gonna have to. I don't know. I think it's at a standstill because they, like you said, the youth. It started at the youth, so they gotta have to learn one thing's how to use that, especially with women. How to go ahead and approach and not use that masculinity, not use that toxic trait to go ahead and
yeah,
basically strong arm to what you want.
right.
You know.
All right.
Yeah, well, I had
Do
that
you?
situation.
Oh,
But
go ahead, Minister. No, go ahead.
no, when I used to have mentoring programs, I used to deal with that with young boys. I had to stop doing it because it was one problem. The moms. They didn't want me to deal with their sons a certain way. I had one guy who was 15. He punched his mother in the eye. So I put boxing gloves on him and worked his work. Well, I almost cursed. I worked. I, he felt everything I did. You know what I mean? And she got mad that I did that. So it got to a point where it was like it was either I don't want people talking to my son a certain way, no matter what he's doing, or give him any type of discipline, or they was making passes trying to make me the stepdad.
Right. I
So
think people are forgetting it take a village to raise a kid. They forgetting that.
Mhm.
yeah,
Like it
and
ain't no
sometimes
more
only
village no more.
a guy will understand. That's why I step back. I got daughters. Certain things I step back and let their mom take care of. Just keep me updated on what's going on because I can't say exactly what they're going to be going through. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? But with my nephews and my little sister's husband, she let us take care of that part. Because we've been where they at. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
she's like, okay, there's certain things they're gonna have to know, certain things they're gonna have to do. You got some boys, you gotta take them in the bathroom to show them how to pee. I had a little cousin that sat down to pee since till he was 10. Because his father wasn't around. He was around all his sisters, his mother, all his aunts, no men around. So I had to show him how he's supposed to pee. You know what I mean? But a lot of times we're not able to just do what has to be done because for some reason we also not trusted. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It seems like it's always looked at as if we got some ulterior motive. And I think that we're the only race of men that the minority will represent the majority. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like whatever's shown the most represents everybody. So we already come in
Mhm.
with 5 fouls.
Wow.
That's just what it is.
You've tapped into divine living, y'all. I'm Miss Divine. If you didn't know, you should know because it says right there. I'm Miss Divine. This is Divine Living, a personal growth and wellness show. Today we are talking about men's health awareness and societal pressures of social norms amongst men. This is a men's panel, all men's panel. So we are catering to them and their the things that they go through in society today. So, thanks everybody again for tapping in with us. I like how this conversation is going. One thing that I'm hearing a lot of is community, um, community, and just what community means. What do you? I'm doing a lot of this and that today. So, what do you see or think of like community cohesion versus barriers to helping or seeking help or help seeking, you know, do you see that in society there is a feud amongst those things, like what the sense of community was or should be, or what we may have thought it looked like to us versus what's happening now.
Um,
Yeah, most definitely. I think now more so. Okay, so how can I put this? So now is more so is less politicking. There you go. It's less politicking, right? It's more so of you're just gonna go ahead and jump and go with the first thing that someone says to you instead of going ahead and finding out that information yourself. Having a mind in yourself. So it's like we don't ask questions no more. It's just plain and simple.
right. Yeah. Right. Right. It's less communication, so there's less
Mhm,
opportunity for understanding. Like, you
mhm,
know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And understanding should be high on everybody's list when it comes to living. For real, for real. Like, you lack understanding, you lacking a lot. You know what I mean? You lacking a lot. So,
mhm,
I think that that's the first thing for reconstruction, like, is understanding and then communication. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because uh, communication without understanding ain't going anywhere.
mhm.
You know, so
Yeah.
Yeah, and I
that'll help
think
a lot.
Yeah.
I think it's less community with men and women. You know,
Mm.
we can't get on the same page. You know what I mean? So it's like it's a lot of men that's not looking to step up and do what you're naturally built to do. And then you got, a lot of men that constantly hear that they're not needed.
Yep.
So,
So,
you got to deal with, because remember back in the day, it was the mother and the father and the teacher. Like all the adults was on the same page. Now everybody
Mm-hmm.
on a different page. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
mm,
Like I think he should do this, but he think he should do this. The teacher is the
Yeah.
problem. That did like nobody is on the same page anymore. So the kids are running rampant because they can play everybody against each other. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
right.
saying? And nobody
Yeah,
look past the first layer. You know what I'm saying? Everything is set up strategically. If you look at brothers will put their life on the line for the sisters. They would,
Mm-hmm.
but they can't keep hearing that they're expendable. Can't keep
yeah,
hearing that
mm,
because then it takes away you
yeah,
wanting to do it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And there's less of us in the neighborhoods, there's less of us in the house, and the system is designed that way. It's designed to be like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
we'll replace the men that's in the house. We give you everything that they would provide for you. You know what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
they can't be there. But me
mhm,
being in the military, I knew a lot of like poor other races. They helped the entire family. They didn't make the father a
Mm-hmm.
requirement not to be there.
yeah,
So it's a lot of issues that we're having because we're only seeing brothers' value as protecting and procreating, not necessarily giving direction, not necessarily giving knowledge. Because
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't matter how much money you make if you can't protect it.
yeah. Facts.
You can buy
But
the
then
house,
there's
but you can't stop somebody from taking the house from you. Then what's the
yeah,
point?
you got
What is it?
some circumstances where single moms like when they on assistance, that man not even supposed to be in the house. So he like, you know what I mean? Like that's breaking up households. And then you do
Mm-hmm.
have the situations where you do have these angry women. That's not all women. Pretty sure, you know what I'm saying. There's just some deadbeat dads out there. That's the reason why just single mom. So,
Oh yeah.
but in the instances also, where that father do want to be in his kid's life. Why are some of these baby mothers like why are they doing some of the things that they doing? They creating a toxic environment not only for that man but the kid and their
Mm-hmm.
selves.
mhm,
They're putting themselves in harm's way. You know what I'm saying? Mentally, financially, like the struggle. That's not a real struggle. That's a you created that struggle. Like you know what I mean? Like and that's sad, like, but also the government is set there to really break apart the home too, like, and a lot of women they comfortable with using the system and really shouldn't be. Like, you know what I'm saying? What's wrong with the it takes two? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I could do a lot of things by myself, but if I have a strong woman that I could build alongside, that's better than any government assistance. Like, you know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean? Now we got a two-player household. You know what I'm saying? We got a household that's strong and stable. Now we can teach the kids some foundation, and we can start building the village back up.
Mm-hmm.
We can start building the village up right there. Like,
Say, let
again,
me let me jump in real quick. I want to respond to something that Nick said. This is an example of what I was saying earlier. You know what I mean? She was like, I don't think we should blame women. Not blaming women. We're just talking about what we go through. That's what I'm
right.
saying.
yeah,
Yeah.
And
yeah,
how we feel about certain situations. And
Yeah.
because we actually mentioned something, it's called blame.
Well, I
So,
see it
so
as
we
I
just
see
keep
it as
quiet.
your truth. I see it as your truth. You know, that is what you have gone through, or what even the people in your life have gone through. So that is your truth. I want to talk about right here because I hear a lot, and I'm doing I'm working on it, y'all, to listen. Um, and this is why I wanted to even create this space today, because sometimes we just need to close our mouths and listen. Um, what is societal norms now? Because there I see a force, a war now of what government may have forced upon us, but what the family says differently. Um, and how it may have even erased the values of family. But I don't want to speak on my behalf of what I see. I want to hear from you. How do you see that in your lives or the things that are going on in your community?
I think it got more financial and less like value and morals. You know,
Yeah.
it's just more so about money, 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 more so, and then building up, like you said, the character, the foundations, and everything like that, placing these values and these morals within um, to go and get it. Because now it's just say, all right, now you can just give money and then that's it. You feel me? You won't hear again until
Mhm.
some they needed some more. You know what I'm saying? Is the communication and yeah, that's what I would say society put on it. And like it's me honestly too, I feel like back in the old days that was the old days. We gotta go with the times. You know, like I understand the stuff about that, but back then rent was only about $100. You know what I'm saying?
Don't front like you
Milk
know
was
it.
only
Don't
about
like
50 cents. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? So it's like now, you know what I mean? Yeah, I understand a guy you're supposed to do that, but a woman's supposed to bring a guy peace too. So if you helping out financially or anything like that, that's helping bring my peace. So I can go ahead and be the best man I can be for us. You know. So that's just how I feel.
No, it's definitely systematic. It's definitely systematic. That's a whole nother topic though. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's a whole nother topic. When I was working at this one job, I worked with this older Caucasian lady and she was telling me how the government gave them housing for free. They gave them land. Like, you know what I'm saying? Whereas our blacks, we didn't get that. Like, so you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Generations and generations, we've been going down this road, and the really is they done made it so hard for us to uplift ourselves, like because we years and years behind, generations behind, decades behind.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah. I think it's really, really rough. These days, man. I don't think we look at each other as being valuable to each other anymore. I think we look and say, what can we get out of each other? Even anything that
yeah,
happens after a breakup is typically just a punishment for the failed relationship. So whether that's child support or him ditching his family or whatever it is, it's just a punishment. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
nobody thinks of the other person. Back in the day, you wanted your woman or your man to be as happy as you or even more than you. But now
mhm,
everybody don't look and say, what am I best at as it pertains to this interaction? What is my role and what am I best at? And let me focus on that. Nobody looks at that.
Mm-hmm.
They don't look and say, well, I'm a good support group. I make sure this is done, that is done. That's what I'm gonna focus on. Everybody looks and says, well, nah, I want to be able to do everything. And it's just
Mm-hmm.
like that's not required. You know what I mean? If he can take care of all of that, let him do that. You know what I'm saying? We built to do certain things. Pressure is for shoulders, not hips. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Mm.
I would rather take on that responsibility and put the weight on my shoulders than to have my woman body go through all types of stress and deal with certain things. Because I
Uh-huh.
need her to be the more nurturing one for the kids. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? I don't want to be out there fighting other lions all day and then have to come home and then turn into a kitten. She gonna be able to do that better than me. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because we
Mm-hmm.
need that balance from women. Because we got to fight. We got to make sure things happen. We're not the only ones fighting for a certain position. So she
Mm-hmm.
balances us. You know what I'm saying? But when you got to fight her too, it's like when am I gonna be able to get out the ring?
yeah,
You know
Mm-hmm.
that's
what I'm
real.
saying? So
That's real. I had an
Exactly.
auntie. My auntie used to tell me all the time. She used to be like, "Get with a woman that can protect your mental." And I was like, "What you
Mm-hmm.
mean by that?" Like I didn't understand. And
Mm.
she was like, "Somebody that can stroke your ego, someone that can, make you feel good about what you doing." Like, you know, Still ain't met a woman like that. Even though I know that they exist, I've been picking the wrong ones. Accountability is also, you know what I'm saying? As men, we got to be
Accountability,
accountable.
accountability.
I
Yeah,
will say this. I
accountability
will give this
for my
advice.
choices that I've been making. But most most definitely, you know, have a woman that can make you better. When there ain't nothing like that, man.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, I will give this advice. I would be like, if a man said this is what he needs, that's what he needs. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
don't change it to what you want to give him. That's what he needs. If he say this is what I
Hmm.
need to keep going, to stay motivated, stay driven, as long as ain't nothing crazy. You know what I'm saying? If he's like jump on one leg and smash an egg on your head, something like that, that's something different. You know what I mean?
right.
But if he just like, yo, just make sure this is this, make sure this is this, that, or whatever, that's what he needs. Don't change it to,
Hmm.
I know that's what he say he need, but this is what I
Mm-hmm.
think he needs.
Right.
And
Right.
then they got off track because he know what he needs. You
Mm-hmm.
know
Right.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. You know, it should be tit for tat. He should be giving you what you need, and you should be giving him what he needs.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
That's should be how it go. You can sometimes got to make sacrifice. A lot of people don't want to sacrifice. They too selfish to do that. Like,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the multiverse is messed up now.
Yeah,
that,
most people only
All
do
them
things
different
for others.
timelines going on.
Most people only do things for others, when they get what they want. They not selfless. They just like, well, I'll do the right thing if I see that they're going to do the right thing by me. And I'm like, nah, you just repaying a debt. That's not who you really are. Like I'll just be nice. I'm not looking for a person to be like, yo, they top badger, they got $200 million. I'm gonna send them a dragon because I know they can send it back to me. No, I enjoyed the content. It was worth a dragon, so I sent the dragon. Like it's
Hmm.
it's selfless.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But some
Mm-hmm.
people can only see themselves in the situation. They never see happiness in another person's happiness. They can only see
There you go.
happiness when
ooh,
they
wait,
benefit from somebody else. You know what I'm
yeah,
Hmm.
saying? So they can't just come and just hold the hearts. If you use tag for an example, they
Hmm.
can't just come and keep your comments going, participate in your auctions or whatever you're doing, and just do it because they want to see you win. They're like, well, how many favors
Hmm.
can I do? How many people gonna be there to give? Let me get some of that. They're not there
Right.
for you.
Hmm.
right,
And a
yeah,
lot of people are like that. They can't see no situation where they could do anything for anybody without them getting something in return. And they
Trying to
wonder why their
benefit
life is the
themselves.
way it is. Because some people are not happy unless they're mad.
yeah,
Facts.
Mm, that's
yeah.
sad. And I'm sad because we're coming down to the end of this hour. It this has been a awesome, awesome conversation. We don't have to go just yet. Um, but I am sad. Like this hour goes by so, so fast. Um, I want to talk about before we leave, and I know we only have a short period of time, how sometimes society causes this Superman mentality amongst men where they may not put themselves first in their own well being. And that's a concern of mine. Um, is that a valid concern?
Um,
For me,
mm,
it is.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, because you doing that, you mess yourself up
yeah,
some of the
yeah,
time, most of the times, you know what I'm saying? Where you like when you gotta be Superman, like, all right, well, my rent due, but hey, she says she want these shoes. She really
yeah,
love these shoes, and I really
yeah,
love her. So let me get her these
yeah,
shoes, you know what I'm saying? Let
yeah.
me pay
I was
her
gonna say
stuff
it's
and let
it's
me be homeless,
situational.
and she ain't gonna help me, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be, what I mean, out on the got spare change, you know what I'm saying? So it is definitely, I think it's you gotta have like a certain level in your head when you be like, all right, I can do this, but also I always tell people this, and I live by it to this day. I learned this when I was young. Nothing wrong with saying no, and nothing wrong with being told no. You feel me? So with that, say no. If they act a certain way, then you know how to handle that situation. You know how to go about with that person because a person that really care about you and want to see you win and stuff not going to be upset at it. No. they understand, and that's when that understanding comes
Right.
back.
Yeah.
You know.
Understanding. You do lead back to that. But it's also understanding when you can do something. Like, you know what I'm saying? So if I can do it, I can do it. Cause I'm the type of person I can get the shirt off my back if I can. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like it could be cold, it could be super cold, I mean, we can share the shirt. You know what I mean? Like we
Hmm.
can share it. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna benefit the both of us, like in that scenario. But yeah, if you ain't got it, then you ain't got it. If you ain't got nothing to give, like you know what I'm saying? I'll put it like this. My father told me once, he said, never forget about yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because if you make it to the point where your cup is overflowing, right? People can hold their glass underneath that and they can fill their cup up too. Like, so what I work hard to obtain, I could easily start giving that back to others because I'm in the position to do so.
Hmm.
But it all start with self.
Yeah.
It all start with self.
Yeah, I definitely have struggled with this work life balance. Absolutely. Look at my name on here, Man of Steel, the Superman complex. I definitely struggle with work life balance. I mean, really bad. Like sometimes I might not even text my mother back for like 3 weeks because
Mm.
I'm
Hmm.
doing business and moving back and forth in X, Y, and Z. Because I'm trying to win so bad. You know what I mean? Sometimes I'm running through the field so fast I don't stop to smell none of the roses. I'm just trying to get
Yeah.
through the field. You know what I'm saying? So I have a serious, really, really bad. But again, I'm relying on to do certain things and to take care of a certain amount of people. You know what I'm saying? And that
Right.
responsibility is solely mine. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So I feel the pressure like any day now, everything can flip and change where I can dial back. A lot of times that day never come though. You know what I mean? You got to be able to enjoy the process and not break your back the entire time. You know what I mean? And I definitely deal with that work life balance thing without a doubt. And then it prevents you from being able to have patience, even when you deal with people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you're
Hmm.
always on the go. You're always looking for the next come up. You're always looking for the next move, the next business deal, X, Y, and Z. So you don't have that balance. That could be why I'm sick
Hmm.
now. I usually
Mhm.
sleep 3 hours a day.
Man.
That could actually be why I'm actually sick. You know what I'm saying? Not enough sleep. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
X, Y, and Z.
Mhm.
And the bad thing is, I'm gonna keep doing it. That's the
Yeah.
bad thing.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
Mm.
but you know what you working for. Like you said, you working because you got to take care of self. You got others to take care of. Like, you know what I'm saying? And like you said earlier in the show, like we all got different paths. Like what I'm working for, you know what I'm saying? I'm not in a relationship. I don't have kids. You know what I'm saying? But I know what I need, to maintain my
Hmm.
lifestyle, my way of living. But also on the back end, which ain't here yet, I'm gonna need to give back to my parents. They raised me. I grew
Hmm.
up in a two-parent household. I know my parents is gonna get old one day. You know what I'm saying? I know one day I am gonna have some kids. Like, you know what I'm saying? I
Hmm.
want to position myself right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna work hard to make sure that everything in order, everything in line. Like, you know what I'm saying? So when that time do come, I do have some kids. All right, this and that, whoop de whoop. You know what I'm saying? Like when my parents do get old, all right, I ain't got to put y'all in a nursing home. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I can take care of you. You come live here. Like,
Right, right.
right. It's all about positioning yourself when you a man, like, that's what we gotta do. And unfortunately for some of y'all women, y'all gotta do the same thing. Y'all independent sisters, y'all gotta do the same thing. Cause y'all don't gotta some of y'all ain't got that man in your life. That you
Hmm.
know what I mean? Like some of y'all don't have that man in your life this dear and they gonna hold everything down like a man's supposed to do. Like, so you know.
I agree with
I
that
want to
100%.
share a little before we get out of here, because that's what I feel like doing, and I don't want you guys to leave. Um, I was in conversation with my favorite cousin, Bevon. I'm going to say his name because I want it to be known. He was talking. He and I were talking the other day, and he was saying, I almost died. I was like, "You almost died?" He's like, "I almost died. I had a heart attack because I became Superman for so many other people that I couldn't even do the things that I enjoyed." And what concerns me in his story is that he couldn't even do the things he enjoyed because he put so many other things before himself. Um, in respect to my favorite cousin, I challenge you all, men, um, in the comments on the screen, to take care of yourselves, to think about you, to be selfishly selfless, to know that you are important and that you taking care of you is taking care of us. Don't don't this is what I'm saying to him. So you take it how you want. Don't think that you being Superman solves the world. You being here for us solves the world. That's how I see it. Um, you guys can make your comments to that or give your outros, whatever you desire. But this has been Divine Living. I love this show. And y'all, I did keep my mouth closed. I let y'all speak. It didn't turn into the women's show, Man of Steel. It did not.
I was reading the comments. I was reading the comments, but but I will say this simply put, and I'm gonna let the brothers rock. Um, a lot of times, we try to go through a doorway holding hands with other people, and there's only enough room for us to fit through. Like you got to be able to actually get through that door, save yourself in order to be able to save people that's deserving. You know what I'm saying? There's too many people locking arms trying to get through a doorway that's only designed for them to fit, so they never get through the door. You get through and save yourself, come back for people that's deserving and save them. Because
Yeah,
you'll never get through the doorway, if you keep putting all this weight on your back. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And like I said, I would say just have more understanding and compassion for each other. Like us as men, we understand that we have to respect each other at a certain capacity because if we don't, it can go left. Somebody might not make it home. So we
yeah,
respect each other in a certain way, even if we have the differences of opinion. We'll respect our differences and then, go on about our day or about our business. But that's one of the ways you can see if he's a real man or not. Because we understand somebody might not make it home if you actually, take it to a certain level that they don't need to go.
yeah. I was I don't know how this pertain to y'all, but I know how it pertain to me. When it comes to heroes, of course, you know what I'm saying. Heroes do phenomenal things for others. They put they self in harm's way a lot. But I was watching, it was Batman, or no, maybe it's the Joker movie. But like the Joker said, right? He pretty much said that there's always somebody waiting on the downfall of a hero. Some
Mhm.
people find excitement in that. Like you know what I mean? So how that pertain to me is, like you was just saying, still like for people that matter. Because everybody don't matter. You know what I'm saying? But when you got a heart of gold though, like you want to do for some folks, but everybody might not be in your corner. Might not all deserve you that access like to you like that. Like I had to learn that myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know?
oh, you was done saying? I was about to
He said
say,
that part.
and yeah, most definitely be aware of your mind, your mental, and your body. Because the thing that made me get straight with everything, the health is wealth. When I realized that murder rate was only 5% of the death of black men and 23% was heart disease.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So with that, take it. So you see, you overworking and doing all that stuff, putting your heart and your mind and everything through that. That can go ahead and get you going. So you can be your superhero, but always be mindful of what your body is, because even they take days off and vacations.
And I will say this was for everybody. You know, be careful who pat you on the back, because some of them are looking for somewhere soft to stab
Yeah.
Mm,
you.
Yeah.
They're not trying to consult you, and
Mhm.
they're not trying to encourage you.
Mm-hmm.
So be mindful of that too.
Yeah.
awesome. Oh my goodness. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out with me. This has been divine living. I don't know if you want to say anything before you go, but this is the show. Ah, yes,
Hey.
it's been an hour
When are
and
y'all stream? When are y'all stream?
huh?
Because I favor both of y'all. I'm gonna come check y'all out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Let
got
me
you
get you
too,
too.
bro.
Yeah. Weekends is usually morning, and then I do a nice little evening shift. During the week, like 7 through 10.
Okay,
Usually take Tuesdays off.
okay.
Yeah. So y'all can find
You
me.
just got your badge, right, Memphis?
No,
Yeah, yeah. I
it's
just got
fame.
my badge at
He's
Live Fest.
Memphis's famed.
Fame.
He's
Yeah, yeah.
Memphis's fame
Yeah,
right
Memphis
now.
been going crazy. Yeah, I just got my
Congratulations,
badge at
man.
Live Fest though.
Hmm.
Thank
Congratulations
you.
on
Congratulations,
that.
congratulations.
Appreciate y'all.
That's
I
what's up.
congratulate anybody that make any achievement. I don't care if you learn how to
Mhm.
tie a shoe. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Oh
Like,
God, though.
You know what I'm saying?
much
Yeah.
love for that. And I think we got that missing too. It's too many guys that think that it's feminine to even show another man love. I don't. We gotta say pause for
Hmm.
everything. I'm like,
Right.
what?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I gotta say pause just for appreciating another brother doing something. Like, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like, I don't get
Yeah.
that, but you know, uh, whatever the
Yeah,
case.
that's a
But
whole nother topic.
congratulations, man. That's what's up.
Well, I'm going to close it out real quick. We can stay here and talk as long as we want to or drop down, but I just wanted to say in closing, without words, the speech cannot be heard. Without a voice, there's nothing to be said. Without sound, it's only left to be seen. And without them all, we're just beings without being a thing. Use your voice to be the light of change, you guys. This is divine living.